Thank you very much, Andy. And good morning to firstly to Banyana Banyana. And good morning to the coach. I don't see.
Yeah.
Good morning to the coach and the rest of the coaching staff. The president of SAFA, Daniel Alexander Jordan. The president of the Union Representative, Tulakanyo, Mama, Precious, my deputy minister, Mutawe, and the rest of sporting fraternity that is present here today. And he has started to give us a background, a very colorful background of how everything unfolded. It was on Sunday morning, just before, an hour before the start of the game, I received a call from the president of the Players Union to explain the situation, a very concerning situation, a worrying situation. Which I really appreciated the call, indicating the plight of and the decision being considered by the players. Having listened to a very long conversation, we then agreed that I'll make a few suggestions and appeal that one, we need to honor the fixture, and we need to make sure that we avoid any embarrassment to the country as well to the team. And I'm grateful today that Players Union honored that undertaking. There are many details in between which we will not go to, and I will explain why, even as we intervened, and advised to both parties that they must not go to the details. I also subsequently received a call from the president of the Federation, who is the authority of football in South Africa, President Daniel Alexander Jordan, who also explained from the Football Authority point of view what has happened. There's been to's and fro's since the past 48 hours to deal with that issue. I must really firstly appreciate their effort to be able to work together. When we intervened, we were very mindful of the fact that as government, there are limited scope within which we can intervene on these matters. We're quite mindful of the fact that as well, we were invited by both the union as well as by the federation, which is the authority, to help to intervene, to find an amicable solution. We had one-on-one bilaterals with both the union as well as the authority of football, SAFA. One of our main advice, which led to a joint meeting after that of the trio, the tripartite between ourselves, the federation as well as the union. Later, it went to another meeting of a bilateral between the union as well as the SAFA, and many other meetings that followed until late last night. Our advice was that, given what has happened, which is now a common cause, if you are to make progress in negotiations, let's not go back to what happened or what led to Sunday, because we're unlikely to make progress. If we're to go back to what happened, we're likely just to pontificate, to be a blame game. So we would have spent the last 48 hours blaming each other. We agreed, and I'm very happy that in that conversation, they've accepted that let's have minimums of how do we move forward. Move forward, one, that we need to make sure that our team lives today as planned to fly to New Zealand and Australia. But secondly, with some of the issues we must resolve, we must find a permanent solution so that we don't only resolve them to attend and come back to find the same sort of problems. And some of the minimums led to, later in the evening, that we were to find out that indeed there was some additional funding which was needed in order to meet certain minimums and demands which were set out, which I must indicate that we had an opportunity as well to address the players last night, to express our full confidence on behalf of government and the people of South Africa, including understanding the demands that they were made. In that context, both the president of SAFA and I, having made few calls around, one of the calls I happened to make was a call to the president of CAF, my brother, Patrice to explain the situation. Given the fact that we were almost running against time, almost running to the evening of yesterday, and we could not postpone anything. Other people would have said, come later, no, we need to meet, and so on. I want to thank him sincerely for the love of his country and for the love of football. He immediately agreed to make a contribution. That contribution was able to settle, to make a breakthrough to a deadlock, a dispute which the president of SAFA will speak about when he reads the statement. I must thank both parties. But I think there are certain fundamentals that we've got to work hard to make sure that there is no repeat of what has happened. And we did discuss some of those fundamentals, including, among others, to make sure that we make a call to corporate citizens, like the Patrice Foundation has done, to make sure that they invest on women football in the country. The reason, and among others, you do not have a repeat of what has happened to men's football is because you've got this massive sponsorship from corporate citizens. And it's unfair. And that is a kind of patriarchy that also rests and resides with corporate South Africa, in which case we must present our case on behalf of this national pride to say they too deserve what Bafana Bafana deserve, what Springboks deserves, what other national team deserves. We hope over time that as we begin to throw many punches, that will tilt the scales so that we do not find ourselves to where we are today. On behalf of government, on behalf of the department, we want to wish Banyana Banyana well as we live, and we commit to join them on the 23rd when they play their first game. Women's football in South Africa is not different, and it must not be treated differently. One of the minimums we highlighted when we met with all stakeholders was that we will not accept any form of discrimination. And that is fundamental. And I said a while back, when we appointed the Deputy Minister and I to this position, we shouldn't be in 29 years into democracy, in 2023, there shouldn't be as a country a discussion about equal work, equal pay. Because women's rights are human rights. So the discrimination against women, you are discriminating against their human rights. And it is a fundamental that we should be debating. And I'm sure that over time, between ourselves and other role players, including the Federation, there are matters that we should seriously sit down and talk about. How do we take women's football to another level? I sincerely want to express our gratitude to the partners, to those who came on board. I want to sincerely once more to express my gratitude to my brother, Patrice, who have come on board at a time when almost we needed as a country to make sure that we avoid any embarrassment to our national team, but as well to the country. And I think that will go a long way to send lessons to other corporate citizens, how themselves they can contribute. When we addressed the national team last night, we did indicate to an extent that they were right, and also in the process of negotiations between the two stakeholders. Negotiations are about compromises. You may not get the best, perfect outcome, but it's important to agree on minimums. And those compromises you make must not undermine the rights of the players. It must not undermine also football. And I'm happy that from what we heard is that there's been a lot of progress. We have to address all these what I regard as side issues so that our national team can focus on the game. And I think as they leave tonight, I think their focus will be on the game. And that was our intention, that the issue must not spill over to today as they leave. So that when they are leaving, there's certainty today to the country, as well as certainty to them as players, that if they go to New Zealand, Australia, their focus must be on the game. The rest of other issues have been resolved as they relate to the tournament. The rest of other issues, as they relate to football in general, we will continue to engage with those issues as and when we are able to have time, both with the union as well as the authority, which is SAFA. Thank you very much, Andy.